Thailand is the most popular holiday destination for German tourists. About 150 kilometers to the south of the country's capital, Bangkok, is the beach city of Pattaya. Here, you'll find the Bios Logos Center of Rheumatism. It has been proved that through his unusual methods, the German national has successfully healed many patients with gout, rheumatism, and spinal disc problems. The Bios Logos company name comes from the title of a book which was written by Rheumatism in 1998. This book opposes the formation of sects. It explains scientifically religious phenomena which build the basic principles Rheumatism applies in his healing methods. The procedures are explainable and everything can be learned and reassessed as it is done here every day. First of all, we can say that we can heal all types of blood pressure or blood-related problems. There will be no calcinations in the arteries and there will be no sedimentation in the knees. These problems all go away because we are able to control the blood flow. We can control its speed, consistency, pressure, and so forth. We can cure anything that is dependent on blood pressure, such as spinal disc problems, which will react differently overnight after the applied healing method. These methods have proved huge success, and the spinal discs have rebuilt themselves to their original shape. They were not worn out, but they were only compressed. It doesn't matter if what we do is medically correct or not, but who heals is right. After the healing of gout and rheumatism through influencing the blood circulation, finger and toenails will grow faster. That's why it is necessary to remove some of the dead nail layers, or in some cases, the whole nail. Bios Logos moved on to another sensation. It is a method to painlessly, without any surgery or bloody wounds, get rid of a nail in less than 1 hour. Whoever had a nail removed by the traditional, quite painful method knows what that means. Does it hurt? No, not at all. No pain, nothing. That's why people from all over the world travel to Thailand to visit Bios Logos, solely because of this reason.
I'm from Hong Kong, and because my husband first here, and then he told me he can successfully do something for his pain from the leg.
Okay. Today, Mr. Neeson has a young man with knee problems as patient. He will be diagnosed and healed with meditative gymnastics. Now we will test your knees. You bend your knees very slowly, and while you do that, I will screen you. Slowly, very slowly. Yes. Now back up again, very slowly. There we have a small grinding in your left knee. Our method is to intensify the body's chemical reaction based on our feelings with a simple symbolic action. For example, if you feel embarrassed and your face turns red, you can actually see your blood pressure rising. With this example, you can see that we can theoretically control the blood pressure without any action of the body. By meditative gymnastics, you have to add a symbolic action, which will then increase the effect. Bend your knees down for 1 minute, very slowly. From now on, everything gets pumped up. Your body's chemical reaction is as if you were doing 50 knee bends. You will feel it when you come back up. This is our method. That's what we do. We shorten the time you would exercise physically, but strengthen the chemical reaction of the body. And this feels like one just took a strenuous fitness program. It is just like when a child is dreaming it is chased by a lion. It awakens full of sweat, even though it did not move at all. A chemical reaction which was solidly triggered by an emotional feeling. I can't let someone do hundreds of knee bends, but I can make him mentally believe he did it.
Aber, um bei dem Beispiel zu bleiben, ich kann dafür sorgen, dass mental viel mehr investiert.
The patient is covered in sweat only after one single knee bend. One knee bend left, one right. That means 4 minutes where you did strenuous exercise without wearing out your joints. With this method, he also healed German businessman Günther Dumke. He had arrhythmia, allergies, and edema in his legs.
Die Lebensqualität hat deutlich zugenommen, ja. Also ich habe
My quality of life has absolutely improved a lot.
leidet ja auch
You
wenn's
even
man
suffer
nicht
when it
so
is not
wehtut.
hurting,
Man leidet
just
ja
from the
darunter,
thought
dass
that
das
it
Ding
might
ist,
get
man macht sich
worse.
Gedanken,
You worry
wenn
when your
der-
foot
wenn der-
swells
wenn
up
der Fuß
because it can lead to
anschwellt.
further
Und,
complications.
Es kann ja auch mal dazu Komplikationen kommen.
For instance,
Und
if
wenn
you
man,
have a heartbeat frequency of 160 and it does not decrease
Pulsfrequenz
after
von
2 days,
560
it can be
über 2 Tage
scary.
nicht wegkriegt, dann macht man sich schon Gedanken, da kriegt man auch so ein bisschen Angst schon davor.
Und wie geht's dir
And
heute?
how do you feel today?
Gut.
Good, very
Die
good.
Blutung ist da, ich
The blood circulation
spüre
is there.
den
I can
großen
feel my
Zehen und
toes
den
all the
kleinen
way
Zehen
up
bis
to the
ganz
tip.
vorne.
Amazing results like these are achieved by Rainer Niesen with his healing methods within only a few days.
Die Behandlungen, die wir bisher durchgeführt haben, wenn es sich um Durchblutungsstörungen
Until
handelt,
now, all
und
problems that relate to blood circulation
Folgekrankheiten
dysfunction,
wie Gicht
like
und
gout or
Rheuma,
rheumatism,
sind wir bisher immer
could be healed
innerhalb einer
within
Woche
1
fertig
week.
gewesen. Also
On average,
in der
we are
Tendenz,
talking 4 to
sagen
5
wir mal,
days.
liegen wir bei 4 bis 5 Tagen.
Difficult
schwere Fälle
cases
haben
may
auch
take
schon mal
6 or 7 days,
Aber
but never
lieber was
longer
noch
than
nicht.
that.
Ja, es ist
It's
interessant,
interesting
dass
that
diese
gout is
Sache
considered as an
mit,
incurable
Abgang in den
disease,
Knien und
but
in
we
die
have to
Gelenke der
say
Hände
that we can solve that
eigentlich
problem in 1
unheilbar
week.
gilt, aber wir müssen sagen, wir erledigen es in einer Woche.
For over 20 years, Hubert Maya has suffered terribly from gout. When he heard about Bios Logos healing methods, he immediately traveled to Thailand from his working place in Hong Kong.
Sobald ein Gichtanfall kommt, ist man
When you have a gout attack,
wesentlich
you are
nicht
barely
mehr
mobile.
mobil.
You are in
Man hat
pain.
Schmerzen. Es geht
When
also
you
vom
sleep,
Schlafen,
even the blanket
sogar die
hurts.
Bettdecke tut weh. Und bis es dann wieder weg ist. Das Problem, das ich gesehen habe, war, dass diese Gichtanfälle
The
immer
problem
in
I saw
kürzeren
was that these
Zeitabständen
attacks came more
kamen.
frequently.
Und,
I was
ich habe
always
natürlich
searching for
latent
another
immer gesucht,
alternative
eine
to the
Alternative
medication
zu
I
dem, was ich
received
bis jetzt,
that were painkillers
immer
and
bekommen
tablets
habe,
to
die
reduce uric
Schmerztabletten
acid.
verbunden, mit der Tablette, die Harnsäure reduzieren soll. Ja.
His patient file is now only a memory of a dark past. Hubert Maya now feels completely healed.
Mir geht es hervorragend. Ich habe aufgrund seines sehr
I feel really great.
intensiven Rates
According to
alle
his strong
Tabletten
advice, I
gesetzt.
stopped taking that
Ich habe
medication.
seitdem keine
Since then,
Anfälle
I had
mehr
no
gehabt.
more attacks.
Die
The
Knie,
knees, no
ich habe
pain.
keine Schmerzen.
My back,
Die
no pain.
Kreuzprobleme sind
And
weg.
that means a new
Und
quality of
damit
life.
habe ich würde sagen, eine neue Lebensqualität. Ja.
So, zuerst mal wollen wir deine
Let's
Fläche
start
ein
another
bisschen vergrößern.
exercise.
Wir
We
brauchen
don't
keine
need any
Medikamente,
medication
weil wir eben
because we
die
use endogenous
körpereigenen
body
Sachen
substances and
und
abilities,
Möglichkeiten nutzen,
however,
allerdings
in an
einem
extremely
gesteigerten
increased
Rahmen.
way.
Jetzt zeige ich dir die Übung, die du für zu
Now,
Hause hast.
I will
Wir
show you
nehmen
the
die
exercise you can do
Grundübung
at
zum
home.
Ausschlagen der Hände und
That's the
Füße,
main exercise
ähnlich
to
wie
shake out
beim
your extremities.
Fieberthermometer, was man früher
It's
so
kind of
runterschlagen
similar to a
musste.
thermometer.
So schlagen wir
We
dann
shake
das
the
Blut
blood
unten
to
rein.
the
Das ist
end
eine
of your
kleine
extremities by
Schwimmbewegung.
swimming.
Aber
Most
die
people
meisten
swim
Leute
in
schwimmen
water,
im Wasser.
but we don't
Wir
need
machen es
water.
ohne. Unser Swimmingpool sieht
No
ohne
water?
Wasser.
No water.
Pass auf.
Look, one member of our team will show you.
Von einem unserer Angestellten. Wir geben den Menschen
We
immer
always give our
etwas,
patients a
eine
small
kleine Übung
exercise
mit.
as homework because the patient who is coming here for treatment is always the result of a certain lifestyle, a certain way of thinking. If the patient does not change, his problems will come back for sure. That's why we give him a small exercise which takes about 5 minutes a day but makes sure that he will never come back with the same problem again.
Nie wieder gehen. Ja.
Yes.
Ja, genau.
Yes.
Ja, fester.
Exactly. But I'm not moving at all.
Schlägst, kommst du von der
Of
Stelle.
course. You just have to try
Jetzt ist
harder.
richtig. Genau.
Now you've got it, you see?
Geht doch.
This was also the convincing point for Frank Böer, the owner of the old German beer house in Bangkok, who was very skeptical.
Über 2 Jahre hatte ich sehr starke Beschwerden mit meinem Rücken, Bandscheibe.
For over 2
Zweimal
years, I
operiert
had
worden
severe
und
back
die dritte
problems,
Operation
a
stand
slipped
aus
disc.
und hatte einfach
I had
24 Stunden
surgery
Schmerzen.
2 times, and the
Und
third
dann hat
operation
mir
was planned.
mein
I was in
Freund
pain
und Partner
24
in
hours a
Pattaya
day.
gesagt, komm
And
mal
then a
nach
friend from
Pattaya, da ist ein
Pattaya
Deutscher,
called
der
me
nimmt
and
dir
said,
deine
come
Schmerzen
here.
weg.
I know a German guy who will take away your pain
Ich hätte am
completely.
liebsten gelacht, aber das ging
I
natürlich auch
laughed
nicht.
and didn't go.
Bin nicht
My friend
hingefahren
called
und
me
dann hat
every
mich
single day,
mein
6,
Freund
7
hat mich
times a
14
day for
Tage
2
lang,
weeks
5,
and
6,
said,
7, 8, 10 Mal
come
am Tag
already and just
angerufen,
try it out.
komm jetzt endlich, probier's doch mal aus. Und irgendwann war ich so genervt,
At a certain point, I was so annoyed that I went there just so that he would leave me alone.
So bin ich an Rainer
That's how I
gekommen, bin
met
natürlich
Rainer.
sehr skeptisch
Of
dann in
course,
diese
I was
ganze
very skeptical when I had
Sitzung
my
mit ihm
first
reingegangen
appointment, and at first I had to laugh
hab
about what he
natürlich
did
auch
with
erst mal
me,
lachen müssen
but
über
I
das, was er
realized
macht,
quickly
aber
that he is actually
eigentlich
helping
habe ich
me.
sehr schnell gemerkt, dass er mir hilft.
Today, he can stand straight again at his beer tap without any spinal problems.
Ich meine, Rainer, der hat Übungen mit mir gemacht.
I tell you, Rainer did
Ich bin
crazy
am Stock, bin ich
exercises
zum
with
Rainer
me.
gegangen. Ich hatte
I
einen
walked
Stock
with a cane into his center.
und nach einer halben
Half an
Stunde
hour later, I
konnte ich
threw
den
away
Stock
my
wegschmeißen.
cane.
Ich konnte mich wieder
I was
bewegen.
able to move
Am
again.
zweiten Tag, ich
Back
konnte meine
then, I
Beine
couldn't lift
vorher
my legs
circa
more than 5
5
centimeters
Zentimeter
from the ground
anheben,
without
ohne dass
starting
ich
to
angefangen
shake
habe zu zittern, weil ich
because
keine
there was no
Muskulatur
muscle
hatte.
power anymore.
Am zweiten Tag habe ich
On the
10
second day
Kniebeugen
of the
auf einem Bein
treatment,
gemacht.
I
Das
did
habe ich
20
noch
knee
nie- das konnte
bends
ich in meinem
with
ganzen
only
Leben noch
one
nicht.
leg. I couldn't do this in
Ich
my
weiß nicht,
whole
was der Rainer
life.
macht.
I don't know what Rainer
Aber
is doing,
Der
but
nimmt
he's
an den
taking away the
Schmerz.
pain. Frank Böer traveled to visit Rainer Niesen together with manager Manfred Schulenberg. Manfred was also awaiting his shortly upcoming third back surgery. This time, the operation would have stiffened up his whole back.
Nach dieser Stunde Untersuchung und
After the first hour of
Bestandsaufnahme
examination,
sind wir nach
we drove back
Bangkok
to Bangkok.
zurückgefahren.
And
Und
when we
als ich in
arrived,
Bangkok
I already
ankam,
had
hatte ich
much
schon
less pain than
weitaus
before.
weniger Schmerzen im Rücken als vorher. Und das hat mich so überzeugt
That
und auch
convinced
den
me
Frank,
and
der
Frank
hatte
in a
weniger
way
Schmerzen,
that we
dass wir
decided
gesagt
to
haben,
let
wir lassen
Mr.
uns
Niesen
von
treat
Niesen
us.
behandeln.
If the
Wenn die
treatment was
Behandlung
not
keinen Erfolg
successful,
hat, können wir
we
uns
could
immer
still
noch
have the
operieren lassen.
operation.
Also wir sahen das als das geringere Übel an, obwohl wir immer noch etwas im Zweifel waren. Ich habe dann meinem Professor am nächsten
The
Tag
next day,
gesagt,
I called my professor
ich
at the
möchte die
hospital
Operation
and postponed
verschieben.
my operation,
Bin
and
am
on the same
gleichen
day
Tage
went
noch
to
zu
Mr.
Herrn
Niesen
gefahren,
and
habe
had
mich
myself
9
treated
Tage
for 9
behandeln
days.
lassen und nach
After
dem
the
9.
9th
Tag
day,
waren alle
all my
Beschwerden
pain was gone,
absolut verschwunden.
and it did not come back for 2
Und
years now.
das war wir haben jetzt August, dieser August vor 2 Jahren.
This video from 1994, showing his daughter at the age of 5, attracted a lot of attention. Rainer Niesen holds the 6th Dan in karate. His knowledge enables him to make people release energy beyond their normal performance. That way, his daughter was able to break bricks with a 75-kilogram weight-bearing capacity.
Den Glaube setze ich nicht voraus. Denn das, was ich mache, kann
I
ich
don't
jeden
ask the
Tag
people to
nachvollziehen.
believe.
Der Patient selber
Every day,
sieht,
I
was
can
geschieht
comprehend
mit
what
ihm.
I do,
Sieht, dass
and my
nie in
patients can
irgendwelche
see what I
Trance
do
fällt,
with them.
sondern ganz normale
There is no
Gespräche.
trance,
Und ohne
no
dass er es merkt, kann er
hypnosis,
auf einmal
or anything
Leistungen, die er
like
sich
that.
nicht erklären kann.
And without
Aber
knowing
am
why,
nächsten Tag sehen wir,
they can
welchen
suddenly
Erfolg
do
wir hatten.
things which they were
Das
never
hat mit
able to do
Sekte
before.
oder
It has
geheimnisvoller
nothing to do
Magie
with
gar nichts
magic
zu
or
tun.
sects,
Und nicht
and
mal
my
der Glaube
patients
ist
don't
überhaupt
even have to
vonnöten.
believe. Bios Logos is unfortunately reaching its limits, with only Mr. Niesen overseeing the center. A center for learning these unusual healing methods should be established so they can be known worldwide.
Wir müssen diese Bios Logos Methode
We have to
herausheben
separate the
aus
Bios
dem
Logos method from
Bereich
those
der
dubious, esoteric methods.
in Frage gestellten Methoden.
That's
das
our
ist eigentlich
main
so das
goal.
Hauptziel. Der Standort Thailand ist
Thailand is a
ein sehr
very
guter
good
Standort.
location. Rainer Niesen
Rainer
has a lot
Niesen
of
hat,
advantages
sehr
here.
viel Vorteile
It's
gehabt.
uncomplicated and he can
war
apply
sehr
his methods
unkompliziert.
here.
Er kann hier praktizieren und kann seine Methode zumindest anwenden und die Signale von thailändischen
The signals we get from the Thai administration are very positive, and I will start talks to establish a learning center in Pattaya as soon as possible.
Vorhanden ist, auch entsprechende Verhandlungen aufnehmen, um in Pattaya diese Methode dann entsprechend zu erweitern mit Hilfe eines Ausbildungszentrums.
Wir müssen Leute ausbilden, damit es für alle.
We have to
Wir können
teach our
unsere
method to make it
Kapazität
available
nicht
for
noch weiter
everybody
aufbauen. Es muss für
because
alle
we
werden.
have little capacity
Deswegen haben wir
here.
uns entschlossen, jetzt mit Hilfe
That's why
eines
we
Patienten,
will,
der hier sehr
with the help
begeistert
of a
war,
former
dass
patient,
wir ein
establish a
Ausbildungszentrum
learning
bauen
center
für
for
Leute,
people
die
who are
interessiert
interested in
sind,
learning our
das zu
method.
erlernen, die dann den
The basic course
Grundlehrgang
will take
innerhalb
around
von
4
4
to
bis
5
5
weeks.
Wochen haben und
After
können dann
that,
schon
they can
an den
already work
Füßen
with the
arbeiten,
patients,
können die
take the
Gicht aus
gout
den
out of the
Füßen
feet,
herausholen und
and that would
damit
help
ist allen
everybody.
geholfen. Es nutzt
It
nichts,
doesn't
wenn
make
wir
sense that we are
dastehen
the
und
only
wir können
ones who
das
can
und
do
alle anderen
this.
sind alle dumm.
We would like everybody to ask themselves if it makes sense to learn this method, to heal people faster without medication.
Und lohnt es sich, die zu erlernen, Patienten damit schneller heilen zu können, ohne Medikamente und deren Folgewirkung.
For a long time now, German doctors and Swiss health insurance companies want to support the Bios Logos Center. Anyone interested in being healed by Mr. Neeson or getting in contact with the Bios Logos team can look up information at www.bioslogos.com.